Hey, this is Mark Vaness, and I am going to demo the basic assembly of our new photo booth by MVS Studio. Most of you will receive the Fobo in a Pelican case like this that we use for shipping. To open Pelican, you just push these little buttons and flip it up. There shouldn't be much pressure. Open it up, you'll find your base inside. The base is going to have a series of 4 bolts. First thing you want to do is loosen the bolts. Don't lose them, just set them aside. Inside you're going to find 2 poles, the Fobo head, a power cord, a USB to connect the printer, a keyboard, and this critical piece of equipment, your Allen wrench key. First thing you want to do is take out the pole with the flange. You want to set that onto the base and get your bolts finger tight. You want to do them finger tight at first and not use the Allen key, just so that you don't cross thread and that you get it set in the way that you want it. It's easier if you can manipulate the base of the flange a little bit to align the bolt holes. Okay, once you have them in, then you want to just tighten down with your Allen wrench key. Okay, and then the next thing that I like to do, and everybody has their own way of doing this, but what I like to do is I like to take my USB, which hopefully won't be as tangled as the one that I have here, and my power cord, and feed them up and through the base. And what that does is it just allows you to not have to fight the feed of these 2 things with the 2 poles attached. It can take just a little bit of practice to do this quickly, but you'll get the hang of it. You feed those guys through, get yourself a little bit of extra length. You can stand it back up. Take your top pole. The top pole has sort of a U cutout on the top of it, and then has a female thread on the bottom. You want to feed your power cord and USB through, pull them out the top, and then thread your top pole section on. And you want to make sure that you get it snug down so there's barely a seam between the top pole and the bottom pole. I like to hang on to the power cord and the USB so you don't get them all spinning in there and potentially kinked. Okay, so now you're set. You can just leave these guys hanging. You want to just have a little bit extra up the top. The one piece I neglected to mention at the beginning is the collar. The collar is a separate piece. It's got a little ridge on the inside, and that sits down over the top of the top pole. This basically is what clamps the photo booth head onto the pole to ensure that it doesn't come off. You don't ever want to tighten this down without having the photo booth head inserted into the pole, because you can crush the top of the tube. Next thing is to grab your photo booth head out of the case. Just slide it out, wiggle it out. Should come out very easily. Cradle it as you would anything that is delicate that you want to be careful with. Some of our techs have started to just do like a little loop with the USBs, so there's no way that they can come undone in the pole. And I actually think that's an excellent idea, so I'm going to recommend that to you. You just stick your USB in, plug in your power. I like to keep the power cord sort of tucked up into this pole a little bit. And then you just kind of slide the whole thing onto the head. At this point, you want to firmly tighten your ring and make sure that your tilt levers are tightened. These are spring-loaded. They can pull out and back so you can get better leverage. This guy's pretty tight. If you want to loosen it, just remember, righty tighty, lefty loosey. So there it's loose, there it's tight. And then I always like to move all the levers back in the same direction. I just think it looks cool. So that is basically your Fobo photo booth. In the next video, we'll show you how to turn it on and go through all of the setup steps for the computer.